Hello and good evening. It's Thursday. I hope you're all well and welcome to the Manchester is Blues blog. Tonight is not sponsored by Coca-Cola, as you can see here. Apologies for that. I'll get that removed next time. If anyone would like to send me any free drinks, I'm more than willing to accept them. Pepsi. Tonight we're going to be talking about all things City, of course. We'll talk about last night's game against Shaktar. We'll talk about the Norwich catastrophe and the defensive frailties and how we're going to build from solid foundations with Fernandinho and Otamendi. We'll talk a little bit about Preston and also the Watford game. We'll talk about all things. Myself and Dan are on tonight, and a little bit about Cristiano Ronaldo's life stories with Piers Morgan, which showed a bit of a better light to him than what we used to. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it and give some comments. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Yeah, what have you been up to this week?
It's just reeling over at weekend and then over the moon about last night. You know, it's just been a weird one, hasn't it?
That winning feeling's back again.
Well, I don't think we ever lost it, did we? I think we just that blip at Norwich. We should have won that game. It was just the calamity errors at the back, wasn't it? Really, I mean, we never lost it. It was just a blip, but. Yeah, it's nice to get a clean sheet and a good, comfortable 3-0 win, and it could have been a lot more, really, couldn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right there, pal. I mean, we were obviously always going to miss Laporte, weren't we, with being out there, and against Norwich, it was so hard to watch Otamendi and Stones, particularly when you know in the past they played so well together and they've won records together, and just to see it, we just completely fell apart, didn't we?
Yeah, we just never settled. Once they got their first goal, no matter what the score was from there, we just it's Otamendi though. On his day, he can be a Vinny type player, can't he? He's solid, wins every ball, wins every header, you know, intercepts every bit of play. One mistake or one goal, I like the lad. I've always rated him. I really have, but he's like Gundogan, and I know Dan Halifax is going to argue the toss against this.
About Gundogan, he'll have you.
I mean, I did say, to be fair, Gundogan was going to be our weak link last night, and he turned out to blow the park away. He was almost as good as Rodri, but he's the same sort of player, just a million times better than Otamendi. I just can't trust him to give 100% every game. You know, no player can, but as close to. You know, he's just. Something about Otamendi, you just want to love him, and you do. But at the same time, you're like, for God's sake, don't play.
The thing is, he reminds me very much of like, who's the player we used to have? Lescott. There's always a mistake. There's always a chance of him.
But on his day, he was fantastic.
On his day, he was a great player. He was great. And his,
The thing is with Lescott, though, he had Vinny all season, didn't he, before the injuries hit. So I think that's sort. If Nico had Vinny all season, I think we would be talking about him having errors as much as we thought.
Absolutely. Can you see with Fernandinho stepping in so well? I can't see Stones and Otamendi playing together again this year. For me, they need a drastic change of heart and to be doing fantastic well in training to see that again. Does that make sense? I just can't.
Yeah. Well, you can't argue with it, can you? Remember the last defensive midfielder that stepped into centre back for us?
I do remember him.
Look how he turned out. Nah, I mean,
always forgiven.
God, yeah, definitely. But it's almost as if you could say Guardiola had it in a sense planned with all these injuries, because he's hardly played Fernandinho. The times he has played, he's always dropped in centre back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's only played twice really, and Norwich slotted into centre back, but. I mean, personally, I didn't think he'd start with Fernandinho last night. I thought he would have gone with Walker and then given Cancelo the nod. But
I predicted that as well. I thought he'd go for. I thought he'd have a bit of because Shaktar, bless them, they're not the strongest team in the world. Yeah. So I did expect us to just have three at the back last night and to absolutely go for him. But it seemed to work out really well. And if anything, I'm glad they did do that, because it was a good trial for Fernandinho and Otamendi, to see if they actually can do well together. And for me, play them on Saturday, 3:00. Get them two in the back four without not even a question mark, is it? Now you just want
no. the good thing about it as well after the weekend. I mean, that's for me going to be the key of it. I mean, it would still be Zinchenko at left back, despite Mendy getting a good 10 minutes, but Fernandinho and Otamendi definitely, and then Walker. But it's a good thing that we've also got the cup game midweek as well, so we can rotate it with Garcia and see what he's maybe like, and Cancelo can maybe get a full match.
I hope you're right. I can't see him. I just can't see him playing the young lad. Cancelo, I can see Cancelo, and it's great. Like you say, it's great to see Mendy get a run out. It's fantastic. I've got that thing of he's going to get injured. He's just going to get injured at some point. He's going to be out for another 4 months, and it's so. I just need to get rid of that negativity now. But if he gets more game time, and like you say, a cup game, what's the kickoff? What time is it kickoff next week? I can't remember.
3 p.m.
I can't remember the cup match. It doesn't matter.
Oh, a cup match. It's Wednesday at 8, I think.
8 o'clock.
Sure, it was 8 o'clock.
But I'd love to see Mendy and I'd love to see Cancelo both starting that, just to give a bit of just to give us a bit of an idea, because Cancelo got a couple of minutes, didn't he? But it wasn't.
He looks positive though.
Yeah. He looks like a Pep player, doesn't he? He looks like a Pep wing-back.
Oh, what was it? Was it against Norwich he played, or was it Bournemouth? It was one of them tight stadium pitches. I can't remember. Did he play against Norwich or was it Bournemouth? One of the two. If he didn't come on against Norwich, it was definitely Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But he for me, that last 5 minutes of that, I think it was the Bournemouth game, I didn't think much of him, albeit it's only 5 minutes and it was technically his debut. He just looked like he was a bit shaky. And then at the same thing, I thought 10 minutes against Shakhtar, albeit a good couple of 3-0 up here. He's I don't know, but he just settled straight into it. As if Walker had a change of appearance. He was making runs, and I think it was at the 85th or 86th minute, he was pushed right back into our corner, and he had 2 of the Shakhtar men on it. And he just held both of them off, managed to play out by dribbling, and then just made a simple pass and sit here on the break again, And it was a good 10 minutes, to say the least, and it was quite exciting to see what the 60 million rated lad can do.
It's good to have. There's all that doom and gloom about our defence, but actually, we've got some really good options at our wing back positions now. I thought Zinchenko could have had a better game the other night.
Yeah. But then again, so could De Bruyne, so we can't really.
No, that's true. That's very true.
The twins.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm still a bit miffed with Guardiola for not playing De Bruyne against Norwich. I can understand why he did. He can't be leaving him out for last night's game. Surely he can't be resting him for Shakhtar. Do you think he was tired, or was there any of the reasons that came out to why he didn't play him?
Well, you can't really say he was tired just because he played the international game. Sterling played the international game. But then again, saying that, Sterling played the international game and he's not exactly lit the past 2 games up, has he? He's been well off the pace. But maybe he's just thinking, do you know what? We suffered a long time last season without De Bruyne, and a few months the season before. Maybe he's just thinking, look, Championship, newbound Premier League club, we should be with players like David Silva and Bernardo Silva have enough attack.
Yeah, it's true.
Sterling and Aguero up front.
But haven't we? We created a lot of chances, but we just didn't seem to be clinical enough to put them. And we didn't, we just didn't seem to have that urgency as well. I listened to a podcast the other day, and they had a City fan ring in, and it was very much of a turn up and win mentality. There was no urgency. We just assumed we win, and we looked at the stats. I mean, I've got the possession stats in front of me. 69% possession, 25 shots and 8 shots on target, compared to 31 possession, 7 shots and 3 on target for Norwich. Those shots are winning games for us in the past. So we just didn't seem to be clinical enough, which is really disappointing for us.
But it was shown in the Spurs game as well, wasn't it? We had a host of shots and chances there, and it just seems to be something about us this season. We're just not clinical with the shots on target. We're getting plenty of shots, but they're either little tame ones, but it's also as if they're scared now. I mean, last night, I don't think I can count as high as many chances that we should have had a shot, but we were just trying to walk it in. I mean, yeah, we can walk it in and score a little tap in. It looks fantastic. But there's times where you just think, like Gundogan, where you hit the post leading up to the Mahrez goal, just have a crack. It's either going to go wide or it's going to go in the back of the net. You're never going to know. There's nobody in front. Stop trying to walk it in. Just have a good blast,
Like 17 shots we had last night and five on target. And you think for a team of that opposition that we played, you think they. I mean, I've just got this here. Shakhtar Donetsk have conceded 15 goals in the last 5 meetings with City in the Champions League, the most they've conceded against any other opponent, which you can understand better than we've played them for the last 3 seasons. It's pretty phenomenal, that, and it's they've not got. Shakhtar Donetsk failed to keep a clean sheet in any of their last 17 UEFA Champions League matches. They conceded 36 in total. Crikey, we should be scoring more if this is right for what I'm reading here. So maybe the clinical side of us isn't as finely tuned as it needs to be, but that'll come.
The nice bit of that stat is, though, do you say it was 5 shots on target?
City, yeah.
We got 3 goals from 5 shots on target. I suppose that's albeit we didn't get the shots on target as much as we'd hoped. It's still clinical in the fact that we got more goals to ratio than the shots on target. But I agree. We should have been. We should have arguably had 5 last night. There was a few chances where we should have definitely blown them away, but at the same time they could have easily gone 1 up. So it's a trial and error almost game, really, isn't it? We have a bit of a blip on the weekend, and then it's just sort of trying stuff out. It's the first time we've ever played a full 90 minutes of Fernandinho at centre back, so it's a bit of in that formation. I mean, and I suppose you can't really fault it, but. Clean sheet, nice 3-0 win at the opening. Can't really complain, can we? It's a win.
Yeah, I'm getting. Do you know what? I'm starting to really enjoy watching Mahrez play as well. I know he's not had many plaudits over the last couple of games for obvious reasons, but I was a bit unsure of him at first. But he just seems to be getting his head down and working hard, and he's that type of exciting player. He's just a little bit. I don't know what it is. He's just a little bit different than De Bruyne or Silva or Sterling. He seems to be his own little mould of player, which is really good. He's not in the typical attacking midfield type role, is he? He's got a little bit of something about him that's a bit maverick, I think the phrase is. Just he's going to do something a bit different, or he'll have a shot, won't he? He'll be greedy, and he'll have a shot when normally some other players would pass. So he's starting to become a little bit of a favourite of mine. I'm enjoying watching him anyway.
It was, I think it was the opening game at season 1 where he played, or second game, and he had a top game. I think he got assisted in that game. But last night he had a goal and an assist, and then after that, gone.
Yeah,
he played brilliant. Yeah, I agree though. He's looking a lot more exciting this season. But I hope last season was just his bedding in season. But I've always rated him. He made a name for himself at Leicester, and he's still taking them traits that he had at Leicester, like you say, where he's a bit different. He plays with the ball. I just wish he'd play more of his right foot. I think he doesn't get credit for the stuff he does with his right foot. I mean, I think there's been only about twice I can recall where he hasn't managed to create something with his right foot.
He does cut in a lot though, doesn't he? He does cut in a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's becoming predictable. It's sort of like Jesus. When Jesus is starting, play the offside trap because he's always offside. Mahrez always get him to go in and cut on his left and block the ball. It's predictability about his game, and I think he just needs to start using he's good with his right foot. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think he's just shy to use it almost.
You just want him to run to the byline like Sean Phillips used to do. Get to the byline, whip it in, and see what. Saying that, if we had a tall player, it'd be quite useful to do. We don't score.
We'll sign that Haaland. I can't remember his name. Haaland. Yeah. His dad played for City, didn't he?
That's it, yeah, Alfie Haaland.
Yeah, that's who he is. Yeah. I think it was just a bit before my time, that one.
I was at the game where it was his last game when Roy Keane done him. That was horrible. That horrible bastard. Was
that him? Yeah. I remember seeing videos and stuff like that at the channel. I didn't realise it was him.
Yeah, Roy Keane. That was him. That's his son. So obviously, Haaland was a defender. So his dad's obviously defensive tricks haven't rubbed out on him, and he's gone up front, which is great. You can see his dad playing in defence and him like having shots against him.
Yeah. That's a testimonial match in the making, that, isn't it?
That's a great shot. But no, he looked fantastic. Some of the goals he scored, and he's got. I don't know if you saw his interview, but he's got some swagger about him. He reminded me a bit like Ibrahimovic. That really confident arrogance. But actually, do you know what? If he turns out to be as good as what he thinks he is, he's going to be a really good player.
Backs it up, yeah.
Yes, 6'4", and he's quick as well by the video.
He's only 18, isn't he? 18 and 19.
19, I think he is. Yeah. So he's
Scoring a hat trick. I think the last player in the teens to score a hat trick was João Felix, wasn't it?
away. Oh, that's not a bad person to be.
No.
Is it? Crikey. It was good. Yeah, I'm happy with Fernandinho. I thought he was solid last night. He did really well, and he's one of our tall players. We're lacking a lot of height in our team. I know Rodri's come in. My God, we should pay Atletico a bit more money for him, because we've got an absolute player in our hands there.
The joys of release clauses.
Oh yeah, I don't know the exact amount we paid for him, but it wasn't enough. I think we seem to have a couple of teams' pants down when we come to signing players, because we seem to get some absolute belters for not record signings, which I quite like about City. We don't seem to be breaking record signings, but we seem to be getting players that are worth the record signing breaking territory.
But it's like the last podcast we did. I was bigging up the scouting system, Edison as well. You know, it's season after season we bring him in. You know, like you say, Rodri, we should have paid a hell of. I agree. 82 completed, 100% passes last night. In a Champions League match, you don't get that. Even players like De Bruyne and David Silva would struggle getting 100%. 82 he only played 80 minutes. You know, he still had another 10 minutes in his game.
My hopes for him.
Height.
Yeah, no, it's his height, and I'm really hoping. I can't remember the last time we scored from a corner.
No.
Obviously, like I mentioned to you, like the old Sean Wright Phillips days, where we used to go to the byline and whip the ball for someone to edit in, like a Zeko or somebody like that. We don't seem to do that anymore. I'd love to have somebody with height to be able to attack the corners and free kicks. Because where's his stat? I mean, against Norwich, we had 16 corners, and we had 5 last night. I need to find out when the last time we scored from a corner or a cross from a free kick, because I just can't remember. But I'm hoping Rodri brings that bit of aerial presence to the team, where we can start making gains on these corners and these free kicks coming in, because it's a goal or two I think we're lacking at the moment. Don't get me wrong, we're doing extremely well for scoring goals, aren't we? We're not going to complain, but if we can do better with corners, then that would really make us a bit more of a threat going forward.
I think I don't know when the last goal was scored from a corner. The last memorable one, there was Laporte's against Wolves beginning of last season, where he got a bullet header. That was the last one I remember. Obviously, I'm hoping we've had quite a few cornered goals from there, you know, with the headers and what have you, just get up there with the height. But that's the last one I seem to recall. But yeah, we're missing that Dzeko presence, are we? You know, we're with Aguero and Dzeko, they never necessarily played together, but you know whichever one was on the pitch, Aguero was going to run at the defence and score a goal. Dzeko, all you had to do was get a corner, and you know there's every chance of a goal. You know, those sort of days have gone. But it's Guardiola style football, isn't it? Move out from the back and just go on full counter attack and just possession ball. And I suppose we haven't really missed it until it's sort of the errors are coming against us. But at the same time, it works in the corners that we concede as well. You know, it's not so much the attacking. When we've got no height at the back and we're conceding corners like we did against Norwich, it's almost embarrassing.
It's true that, especially when we play zonal marking as well. It's do you think Aguero will start on Saturday against Watford? Should he?
He didn't play. I mean, with the fact we've got Preston midweek as well, I think that's a Jesus game.
I agree with you.
And I think Aguero, with the fact he didn't play any minutes last night, he'll get the full 90 against Watford. Barring if we're, you know me, I'll come up with the outrageous score suggestions.
Don't say 8-0 again. Don't do it.
9-0. 9-0.
It's not.
No, if we're comfortable, you know, so even if it's like a 3-1 or 4-1 or 9-1, bring Jesus on, or maybe play Sterling up front and get Aguero off just to save him, because we're being blighted by injuries this season. I just hate to have another key forward out. You know, and I think Jesus is the only one that can really properly play left wing for me. Well, every time he's played left wing with Aguero up front, he's played well. Sterling, Bernardo Silva as well, just can't do it.
Just put them in bubble wrap. Get Foden. Foden needs to start Preston game without a shadow of a doubt.
If he needs a full 90 minutes without a doubt.
Really, really, really. I know we keep saying about, obviously, it's his season next year when Silva retires and moves on to whatever he wants to do, and that's Foden's year. But this game against Preston is the game where he should be starting. I hope he does, and I can't see any reason why he wouldn't, because we've got enough talent in that squad to be able to drop one of the star names and put him in, because we should win.
Yeah,
I hate predicting, I hate saying things like that, but if we can't.
I know you probably don't know the worst ones, are you? You absolutely hate it, but suppose there. But again, it's one of them. I mean, we thought we'd comfortably beat Norwich. I mean, fair enough, it's a cup game, but it depends how Guardiola wants to take the game with all these injuries we've got, whether he wants to go for all cups again or whether he just wants to sort of say, look, I'll give the youngsters a good run out. If we win, fantastic. If we lose, oh well, we've got to concentrate on the Premier League and maybe the FA Cup and the Champions League. You know, it's be a tricky one. But no, thing is, even when Silva goes next season, I don't see Foden being. He's a squad player without a doubt. I just don't see him being Guardiola's first choice or second choice or third choice. I can see him either bringing another midfielder in, or he'll just play around with the formation. I hate saying it because the lad has just got so much promise. And I think the last player we got so upbeat about from a youth academy product was Wright Phillips.
Yeah.
Really. There's no player that everyone looks at and thinks this lad's going to make it. You know, Stephen Ireland had that in the early years. Michael Johnson had that in the early years. But they're just, obviously Michael Johnson, his career was blighted by injuries. But Foden just seems to be that, you know, we've had all this success. Maybe the academy can start bolstering something out of all this now. And we've got a proper world beater, you know, a proper gem in the squad. But I don't know. It's a weird one. Last season, you would have thought this season Foden would have been playing so many minutes. But
I know what you mean. I just Pep's not the type of manager, is he, to go and spunk out a load of young lads in the youth teams, bring them from the youth teams and put them into this type of game. He's just too. I think he's been bitten by that in the past, and I don't think he's the type of manager that will. I think he'll play a reasonably strong squad. I just hope he's got one or two diamonds in there from the academy to kind of bolster that. But Preston will be right up for it as well. We've got to be really conscious about injuries and things. I say that. Preston, I don't think Preston are a dirty team. I don't think they'd want to come out and smash us up in the air and stuff. I think they'll quite enjoy having all the other City players there. They'll want to win, and they'll be one of the games of their season. So we just need to.
I think last time we played them, we lost, didn't we? It was another cup game in about a few years ago now. But sure, we lost against them that game, so we can't go into it thinking we'll be conquering and almighty. But yeah, they're not a dirty team. They're sort of one of them teams that, you know, we play our content football. If we win a game, we win a game. We won't lose many, but, you know, we'll just be in the ascendancy. But one youth academy player I want to see play, Felix Nemecha.
Yes,
he looks very, very good midfielder. Him, you know, he's very promising. I mean, his brother's not at the academy. You know, fair enough. He was at Preston last year, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
Lucas.
I'm not sure if he was at Preston.
But no, he looks another promising lad, and I think it will be a game where Guardiola does rotate it massively.
These are the types of games where we need that big squad. Got to be. My wonder is, will he keep for that game Fernandinho and Otamendi? And if he does, if he plays them two against who we got? Watford, and then against Preston. I don't think he will. Actually, I don't think he will. I think he'll put who's the young defender?
Garcia.
I think he's got a good chance of playing him. I really do, again with Otamendi. But you know where I think Otamendi plays better when he's the senior person and he takes a bit more control. I think when there's somebody else alongside him who we can count on, I think that's when we see the worst in Otamendi. So I could see Garcia and Otamendi playing up against Preston. But saying that, we've got nobody else to play in defence. Have we really?
Fernandinho can do it though. You know, it's like somebody commented on the page yesterday and said it's not all about age. I said, well, yeah, he's 34, but he's got the body of a 22-year-old. It's a weird one for a midfielder. You think of his stature as well. You know, he runs that midfield, but 34, you sort of think he's dropping back a little bit. You know, he's not going to do as well as he did. He'll still get in the mixing, but he just looks like he's he's getting younger, more physically fit, and I don't know how he does it.
It's the experience with age, isn't it? I mean, he got something like 90% passing accuracy yesterday. He won 2 or 3 really, really solid headers, and he stopped a few attacks coming through as well. So it's just that age now where like you say, he's starting to come back a little bit. He works a bit harder, but it's all about his positioning. He knows it well. This is why Silva's so good. You don't need to be quick. You don't need to be rapid. You can find.
Knows the right ball to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that works really well for him, and it's long may it continue. Listen, if we play with Otamendi and Fernandinho for the whole season, and we go on to win, fantastic. Whatever. I'm not bothered who plays in the back as long as they've got a pair in there, and I'm not nervous every time the back four have got the ball.
We all are still to this day, even if Laporte was back from injury and we had Otamendi playing well. I think it's simple City, same old City. We still all have that itchy, squeaky bum time, don't we, at the back? You always think Ederson, even though he's fantastic with the ball at his feet, as soon as he gets it and you see an attacker on, you're like, no, just kick it out, please, kick it out.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, we're all good, mate. I think that's pretty much it. Have you got anything else you want to say?
No, I think it's got to be the first podcast where we've not mentioned VAR, isn't it?
Bloody hell.
Albeit they did check the goal last night, but it worked in our favour for once.
I will mention VAR just once. Did you see Bale's goal?
No, I didn't know.
Bloody hell, it was brilliant. I don't know if you get when we finish here, go on YouTube and search for Bale's goal last night. It was disallowed because he handballed it. He kind of touched the ball the ball touched onto his hand, which he did. And he got the ball and sort of volleyed it in the top left-hand corner. It was an absolute belter, but it was ruled out straight away for VAR because he obviously touched with his hand and he was an attacker. But yeah, it was a fantastic finish. If it was last season, I think he would have got away with it.
Yeah, it
works, isn't it? Rules out there because it's if you're an attacker and it hits your hand before it goes in the net, it doesn't count. So I kind of understand.
I think that ruins football though, because it doesn't count if it's the other end. If it's the defending team, yeah, I think that sort of ruins it. Football's all about goals, isn't it? You can say, "Oh, fantastic play," defending team managed to keep it 0-0 and it was a fantastic game. It's not. Fans turn up to watch goals, don't they?
Yeah,
and you can't help it. If he went out and did Maradona, for instance, punched it up in the air and it went in the back of the net, albeit. Like Laporte, where it touched his hand and it rolled onto another attacker. It wasn't the attacker's fault it touched his hand. I don't think it was anything intentional. I think it even hit the Spurs defender as well after it hit Laporte's hand.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one, but yeah, it's VAR in it. It's never going to be perfect in everyone's eyes. But no, I'll have to have a gander at that. But they're on a very slippery slope, Madrid, are they? It's
a shame, innit? You've got to feel sorry for Zidane.
You have, haven't you? But at the same time, you think, nah, it's one of the big guns out the way, innit?
Absolutely sodden. Let's go. We can. I'm sure we can beat Paris. I'd rather play if you were going to put me a gun against the head. I'd rather play Paris than I would Madrid. Any day of the week, just because they've got that European caliber, haven't they? They've kind of got they know how to win games, and they're not out of the question yet. They're not out of the question. I don't know what the other two teams are in their group, but I'm sure they'll still get through. They need to finger out, don't they? And do you know what, mate? I really like Bale as a player, and I feel a bit shitty for how their fans have treated him and how Zidane's treated him. If Bale was to come to City, I would absolutely love that. It's never happened, but I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's been shit on by a massive distance at Madrid, and I feel a bit sorry for him, even though he's on like 400 grand a week. I can't feel that. That's like kind of. But
talking of that though, money wise, I mean, going a little bit off topic, but still to do with Madrid. Did you see when you think about the money and you don't feel too bad for him? Did you see the Ronaldo documentary interview with Piers Morgan?
Yeah, I saw it.
That has completely changed my mind about players like Bale, because Bale, I think, grew up in a little bit of the same scenario as Ronaldo, obviously completely different countries and backgrounds, but it sort of started from nothing, and you think, oh, they're getting treated well, they'll just go back to the fancy mansions with 400k a week sorted out, they'll be happy, but they always strive to be the best, and I think Bale's one of them. And it's same with Ronaldo, it's just, albeit he's a former Man United player, but it's just I think it's same with Aguero, and Aguero had an awful background. So did Messi, and it's players like that. So Messi will always be loved because he grew up playing for Barcelona. Ronaldo wins wherever he goes. Bale, he came from a Spurs team that's won nothing to a Madrid team where when Ronaldo left, he should have been the one to take over. And yeah, I agree. He's just sort of being kicked in the dirt. And that goal in the Champions League that he won for him a few seasons ago, yeah, that should have cemented him in history for them as a great player. And he has been for him. I mean, I think he's got more records than Zidane did.
Has he really?
Time, isn't he? Yeah, he scored more goals, I think. I know that. But it's awful. But yeah, if he came to City, I think I'd love that. I really would.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. I wasn't that bothered about watching that last night, and I kind of had my laptop on. I was doing a bit of work, and Missy said, "Oh, can we watch this with Ronaldo?" Because she doesn't really know Ronaldo. She doesn't really follow football, Mrs. But obviously she likes Piers Morgan, so we'll watch it. So yeah, go on, then put it in the background. And
you got her cogs going through and right. Likes Piers Morgan.
I know. I think she just likes the life stories. Because he asks those types of provoking questions, doesn't he? That gets things out of people. And I wasn't that bothered about it, but I had to put my laptop down after 10 minutes and watch it because it was just really engrossing. And I saw it side of Ronaldo that I just, you know what? Actually, he works damn hard, and I like I want to be number one, and I'm going to work hard. Number one, and obviously the emotional attachment, which I didn't know about his dad and things along those lines, and he kind of humanized it a little bit. He humanized Ronaldo for me, even though he's got 2 Ferraris, 2 Bentleys, 2 this, 2 that, massive.
Two, yeah.
And I can, do you know what? He's worked damn hard for that. I mean, what to give him and how hard his mum worked for him, and yeah, I can appreciate the hard work and effort that's gone into making him where he is now, even though he played for United. Never mind.
But it sort of puts the rivalry behind, doesn't it, really? When you don't... Before I saw that, the fact that he played for United... I mean, personally for me, I'd say he's better than Messi. I've always believed that. I've always said Ronaldo's the greatest player that's ever been. Despite United, with him being in history with United, I've always done it. Messi definitely is number 2, without a doubt. But Ronaldo, yeah, it's just... The strive to be, like you said, number 1. He doesn't recognise the number 2 or 3 or 4. It's just that 1, and I love that about a player. I really do. And he's a fair play to him, like you say. I mean, he's earning millions and millions and millions, and to say he's worth $500 million, isn't he, and stuff like that. Yeah. Considering where he came up from, I can't really. He's worked hard for it.
That bit where he was getting free burgers from McDonald's, and he wanted to try and find the woman that used to give him the free burgers. I love that, little things like that.
I can. Thing is, though, that'll work for him because I bet you anything he'll find her now, without a doubt. And like you said, it humanised him and normalised it almost, didn't it? And it's a weird one. I would never have seen him in that light if it weren't for that interview.
Absolutely, but let's wrap it up, mate. We've had a good half hour there.
Aye. Got a few topics on. Nothing that we need to shout out this time round.
no mention of VAR.
Oh no, Gundogan. We've got to do it for Dan, haven't we?
Give us someone Gundogan then.
I don't know. I was slating him, wasn't I? I don't think I'm in the right person to go ahead about it. I was saying he shouldn't have been on the pitch, but no, I'm glad to be proven wrong. Really am. He had a great game, and I mean, as soon as he hit the post, and we got a message from. Dan saying, my lad Gundo. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll take it back. But no, I'm glad he had a cracking game. Hopefully he can stick at it now and have a few more good games. But, it's one of them. It remains to be seen. But no, big shout out to Gundogan for them, I guess.
Was he your man of the match then?
No, Rodri. Without a doubt. Thing is, he's not even second. That'll go behind Fernandinho. But no, he's definitely my third. But no, he's definitely not man of the match for me.
That day when he's your man of the match is going to be a hell of a day.
It'll be his testimonial, probably.
A hat-trick against United, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think even that might not tip it over.
Hat-trick against United, he's going to get a knighthood.
Well, I mean, I think the only person that deserves a knighthood from a goal against United has got to be Balotelli just for the pure celebration.
It was me.
Oh, and Vinny, of course. I forgot about that one.
I thought you were going to say Benjani then.
Oh, well. Can't forget that celebration ever, can you? It's
absolutely brilliant. Right, come on, let's wrap up. Have a great day, mate, and I'll speak to you soon.
You too, mate. All best.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.